and your participation and attendance will be considered for grading for this paper, and this will be included in mark sheet. And the guest, the chief guest of the day is Dr. Pranish Kumar. He is a professor and head of English at Alfonso College of Arts and Science, Kanyakumari. He worked with VIT Velur campus for more than 6 years, and he was doing great things at VIT, presenting many papers, contributing in patent, copyright, and all other activities. And he was eagerly taking part in all the academic activities in VIT Velur, but he resigned this prestigious job at VIT only to settle at his native, to live a life with nature and his family and relatives. Now he has settled in Kanyakumari. Right from his college days, he had a passion of reading, and he used to spend his leisure hours in college, in the library. Whenever we find lunch break or other leisure time, he will be found only in the library. He has handled plenty of language training sessions for various colleges across Tamil Nadu. And this is a few things about the academic part of our Chief Justice, Dr. Pranish Kumar. And I want to add a few more things which I think you would not like to do that. He's a humble person, and he's the son of a former minister. His father was a minister in Tamil Nadu cabinet a few years back, and he was the minister for fisheries and animal husbandry. And he was loved by all the people of Kanyakumari, irrespective of party line, caste, religion. And he was the only few leader in the district who was loved by the people of all the religion, all the community, all the caste. So he was such a loving person, and unfortunately, he is no more. And I know he will not mention this because he's such a humble person. He will not say this to anyone that he's the son of a former minister. Such a humble person he was. And today he has graciously consented to be with us and share his few expertise with the first year students about LSRW skills. And Dr. Pradesh, it's our prestige and privilege to have you with us. Now I hand over the session to our chief guest, Dr. Pradesh Kumar. Please, sir. Pradesh, your mic is muted, it seems. I think your mic is muted.
Yeah, now it's okay, right?
Yes, now it's clear, Pradesh.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Krishna Pradeep, for that wonderful introduction. But I think one more thing he missed there. He's a good friend of mine. Now we did our UG together, and to say, to put it in beautiful words, no, people of the same wavelength, or we are like that. We are people of the same wavelength. And okay, now before we go into the session, uh, I'd like to appreciate all the students for voluntarily uh, continuing with the learning process, even though when the entire world is suffering from a pandemic of this kind, you are volunteered to continue your learning process, and that too by joining in a prestigious institution of this kind. So congratulations to all, and uh, of course, there's a bright future ahead. There's no doubt about it. But this is the time where you can settle down, learn, and learn something, and then enhance your communication skills. Uh, and this is the right opportunity. This is the right time. Uh, and yeah, now we'll go directly into the topic, I think, because hardly we have an hour, and a lot more things are to be shared to you. And this session, of course, is not a academic enrichment in your life. It's a life lesson. That's what I'd like to tell you, because see, communication skill, of course, it's not limited to just getting a good career, just getting good percentage of marks. It's a life skill. It's a skill. It's not an academic skill. It's a life skill. I don't know if Krishna Pradeep, my friend, would recall this. One of our professors who taught us in Scott Christian College, who I remember he used to tell us that each word counts. Each word counts, and he used to tell with an example, beautiful example like this: the first word that you speak to your the would be or your loved one, that is going to vibrate and decide the entire future for you throughout your life with your life partner. So that is the importance of communication. That is the importance of communication. And why that matters, be it whatever stream, be it engineering, be it arts college, or be it a medical profession, whatever it be, it matters because see, these days we come across too many professionals and too many people who are expertise in their own field, but the problem is that they are not able to communicate effectively with others. They are not able to transmit their learned knowledge uh, and convince their bosses or convince their whoever it be, their peer groups in terms of their communication skill. So why is it happening? We have to seek an answer for that. 5 years back, I read an article which came in the week, which stated that, see, of the 100 of the engineers which the country produces, only 80 percentage of the people, only 20 percentage of the people are to be employed, are to be directly employed in companies. All the other 80 percentage are to be retrained due to lack of just communication skills. So just imagine that. Just imagine that. See, they have good scores. They they have sound knowledge in their own field, but they are not able to be, they can't be employed directly into a company, before which, before getting employed, they have to go through a training process. So imagine the condition, imagine the plight of the country if this continues to happen. So now what we are going to do is that throughout the session I am going to give you small tips through which you will enhance your communication skill. You will understand the importance of communication skill in terms of personality development, in terms of, and also in terms of your career development. And these lessons are going to take you to a to the next mile, in the next mile with a smile in the journey of your life. So there are too many definitions which you can speak about. You can say about communication if you refer to textbooks, or if you go online. Umpty number of definitions you get. It's a two-way process where you need a speaker and a listener. It's a process where you need an encoder and a decoder. It's a process um, where one person is communicating with another person, or one person communicating to a group, or like that it's countless ways. Communication is just the term which we give to the countless ways in which human beings communicate with each other, either through pictures or words, or through actions which we call as non-verbal communications, or through music. There are so many umpty number of things, but again we have to ask ourselves, like, have you ever wondered if this communication process is just limited to human beings? Of course, not at all. It's not only limited to human beings. See, this communication happens not only among human beings, through to in the animal kingdom, among insects. The best example, if you refer to any communication book, it will tell you that honeybees. See, honeybees, when they collect honey and come back to their hive, on the way, if they meet another honeybee, you know what it does? It gives some signal, non-verbal cues of communication. Like sometimes flapping its wings 3 times, jumping up and down. One may be to indicate there are a lot of honey ahead. You go and collect. It's nearby. It's far away. So see, this is the law of nature. Communication is the law of nature. You cannot deny that. And why you need to communicate? Why you need effective communication? See, the nature of job that we do in any institution, for that matter, in any firm, be it an MNC company, be it a college, be it any other job, like uh, like a construction work, outside unit, whatever it be. Today, the nature of the job is you don't do it. You do it by your own. You people do the job in teams or in groups. You will be divided into teams, and each team will be headed by a team leader. In MNCs, purely this is how they extract work from you. A team will be there, maybe a team of 5 or 10 to the maximum of 10, and each team will be having a team leader, and each team leader will be connected to another head, and that head will be reporting to the upper head. So, in this process, if you lack effective communication, if you miss to communicate properly with your immediate head, the meaning of what you're going to communicate is lost, and the work which is supposed to be done in a stipulated period of time, or the work which is supposed to be done in a particular way. See, all these accurateness will be lost if you miscommunicate. So after this career, see, today I work for an institution. So there are people who are communicating to me. There are also people whom I report to. So if I misplace a word, if I change my tone for a particular word, the entire the entire rapport which I have with my team, I lose. And as teenagers, now I am speaking with regard to you people. You are you have completed your school days. Now you people are adults. You have to understand that. You have to understand that you are adults. I'll tell you something, which I don't know if you will agree, but this is the truth. As adults, you have to own responsibility for your communication, whether it be enhancing your communication or whatever you communicate. You have to take responsibility for what you speak. And one problem today I see with the adult group is that most of the time, since you dedicate to, of course, internet is a blessing, it's a boon, or else we would not have communicated like this through online classes. But still, I have written a paper on this that which I presented in a conference in Malaysia. See, technology actually, in some way, in one way or the other, is redefining the laws of communication. Since you are confined to your mobile screen throughout the day, 24 by 7, some of the interpersonal communication skills, like how to speak to a friend, how to speak with family members, what are the ways of expression through which you can create a rapport with people nearby, how to engage people nearby, all these things we tend to miss. So you have to fix the time that you communicate with your screen. That should be limited. Face to face communication matters. Face to face communication matters. And I know I'm speaking this when I'm not having not having face to face communication, but I'm communicating via technology. But of course, we should also understand the limitations of the technology. Eye contact, that conveys a lot. See, when I tell you that as adults, you should know more, you should take responsibility for your communication. There are so many things which I'd like to convey. See, one thing is that the teacher, you cannot rely entirely on the teacher, on the English teacher. The teacher is not a magician. The teacher does not have a magic wand through which he can make you speak English in 10 days or 15 days or 20 days. I know there are centers around the globe, around the country, around our state, in your locality, who are advertising, who are giving fake promises to you, telling that you come and enroll in our center. In a matter of 15, 20 days, we will make you speak beautiful English like a native speaker. But I'm telling you, without your dedication and cooperation, nothing can be done. The role of the teacher, the role of the English teacher is that with your cooperation, if your language proficiency is of 60%, if you cooperate with the teacher, he can take you to the next level, maybe 80%. Or if a person's proficiency is 80%, maybe to 90%. As adults, you should know what skill you lack. So before speaking about that skill, I think it's time to share the slides which I have prepared for this session. Hope the slides are viewable. See this one, if you can read this, this is one example of communication, one example of miscommunication. See that the profession by profession is a doctor, and see somebody is telling that I told the doctor I broke my leg in two places. I told the doctor I broke my leg in two places. He told me to quit going to those places. So if you can understand the meaning here, maybe if you're not getting it at the first read, you can read it twice or thrice. Now I think you know what's wrong here. So initially I told you certain definitions, and this is another. These are some of the powerful definitions, uh, like the ability to convey or share ideas and feelings effectively, the simple process of getting information known by one person to the attention of the other people who should have this information. Or communication is the process that occurs between two or more people in which a message is delivered and received by the other party. The exchange of thoughts, messages, or information as by speech, signal, writing, or behavior. Now, we'll go directly into our topic. See, communication broadly we'll divide into verbal, non-verbal, and paraverbal. Verbal, whatever you communicate through words. When you speak, your choice of words, how you organize those words, whether you put it in an active voice or passive voice, or how you put something in writing. Is your writing able to influence someone? Is the intention of your writing is to influence someone or inform someone? Have you understood that purpose? And are you encoding it accordingly? Non-verbal form of communication. This one is an amazing. It's a uh, it is being told that, see, just to highlight the importance, I'm telling it is, it's being told that almost 70 to 80% of what we communicate, what the receiver takes away is through our actions and not through our words. So that is the power of non-verbal. It's a huge world altogether, or a huge world of communication that is happening through non-verbal form of communication. Like starting from your gestures, from your postures, from your facial expression, from your eye contact. All these things comes under non-verbal form of communication. The third one we have paraverbal. So that speaks about the tone of your voice, the pace of your voice. The pace means the speed in which you communicate. So that has something to add meaning, add to the message that you're conveying. So these things. So gradually we'll also discuss on these three things. Now focusing on the topic, LSRW. LSRW. The next time somebody asks you throughout your life, what is LSRW? What is communication skills? What is LSRW? You should be able to recall this LSRW. LSRW is nothing but listening, speaking, reading, and writing. I know there must be umpty number of people around who are just listening to me now. You have the or you will have the intention to complete your course here and move abroad for job, for higher studies, or whatever it be. So during that process, before letting you move from our country to the other country, you, whether it be European countries or whether it be like Eastern countries like Malaysia, Singapore, or Australia, wherever it be, you will be asked to take up an IELTS or a TOEFL exam based on the purpose for which you have enrolled to move abroad. And for that, your language skill will be assessed. You will be rated. You will be given marks based on your communication skill. At that point of time, your listening skill will be assessed, your speaking skill will be assessed, your reading skill and your writing skill will be assessed. So on the screen, you can see LSRW, listening and reading. I have quoted as receptive skills, and speaking and writing as expressive skills. There are they also call it as active and passive skills. So active in the sense speaking and writing, because you're putting some effort there. You are taking up some action, like you're putting some more energy when you speak. when you write something, you're putting some effort. But when you listen and you read, you're not active. Of course you're active, but not equally as speaking and writing. You receive information. These are receptive skills through which you listen or read. So this can happen anywhere, maybe at the comfort of your home, in your cabin, in your when you travel, you can listen. When you're seated somewhere, you can read books. All these can happen at any point of time. That's why probably they have placed under receptive skill. So LSRW means listening, speaking, reading, and writing. To show that you have command over a particular language, to show the listener that you have command over a particular language. Here, the language is nothing but English. To show that you have authority over the language, you are powerful in this language, you have command over the language, you can use this language effectively, you can convince people by using this language. For that, you should equip all these four basic skills. Now, I'll connect this to the previous point where I left you. So earlier I was telling about, as adults, you have to take responsibility of your communication skill. I know there are people, students, because I have been in this profession for almost 10, 12 years. I've seen umpty number of students. I know their psychology. See, there are students who are also introvert and extroverts. Being an introvert is nothing wrong, because see, most of the creative works which the world has today, like beautiful poems or beautiful movies or books or novels or whatever it be, or maybe like a sculpture or a beautiful painting, all the creative works, majority of the creative works, they say, comes from introverts. So being an introvert is not bad. I'm making this classification now is that, see, uh, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Some people will be good at writing. Right from their school days, they write short stories, they write poems. I know the people who are listening to me now, at least 10 percentage of you, 10 percentage, maybe in your mother tongue, or sometimes even in English, you would have attempted to write a poem, a short story, a haiku, a haiku type of poem. So these kind of attempts you might have already made. But there is no assurance that those people who write or attempt to write something of that kind will equally speak. There will be another group who can speak better, who will speak fluently, who will be using mellifluous language, who, the choice of words, the pronunciation like a native speaker. Very beautifully they can make presentations, and even they can interact with strangers in English. And they always take the chance of doing the MOC in a college program or in a school program. They give welcome speech, they give vote of thanks, they do all these things, but they sometimes cannot, not always, but sometimes cannot write effectively as some of their colleagues do. So now, as adults, now this example is applicable both to, is equally applicable to listening and reading too. Okay, so as adults, you have to ask yourself, of these four in English, now we are speaking about English, not any other language, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, of these four skills, which one should, so as adults, take responsibility and ask yourself, of these four skills, which one do I lack? Which one should I pay more attention? Now, first we'll discuss on listening. So what is listening? What is listening? There's subtle difference that our there's a subtle difference between hearing and listening. So it's, if you can see what is displayed on the screen, if you can read it out, you can understand what is hearing and what is listening. We will have the meticulous task of correcting biodata or resume. When students during the final year, we conduct mock interviews. So at that point of time, hobbies. When people list out their hobbies, I have seen students writing Hearing music, hearing music. So hearing music cannot be a hobby. Only when you actively listen to music, it becomes a hobby. Hearing cannot become a hobby because we hear. That's unstoppable. But listening, because you are addicted to music, because you like music, you listen to music. So that's it. And one more factor with regard to your listening skill, which I'd like to tell you at this point of time, is there's a term which I have displayed here, mother is. Mother is. It's a linguistic term. Linguistics is nothing but, see, I'm not scaring you with the high sounding vocabulary. Linguistics is nothing but the science and art of learning a language. Okay. So mother is, what do you mean by mother is? When you learned your mother tongue, or in the process of learning your mother tongue, how did you learn your mother tongue? You have to ask yourself. See, now listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Of these four basic skills, I would say I would attribute high amount of importance to listening, because even if you go with the order, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, there is one reason. Second thing, see, everything starts with listening. You listen to somebody, maybe your mother or your caretaker, who were talking to you, or who satisfied your needs based on the utterances or the sound or the cry that you made, or the babbling they call. And gradually, when the mother or the caretaker understood that you have started producing sound, cueing, or later one word utterances, then they took the initiative of teaching you the language. What in Tamil, what do they say? Appa, appa, appa sollu, appa. How many times they would have at home, if you have kids, maybe of your aunts or uncles or your brothers or your sisters kids, you might have seen the effort the mother is placing or the caretaker is placing to make the child speak a particular language. So how many times the mother is repeating? 50, 20, 30, 40. Appa, appa sollu, sollu, sollu. Okay, this is happening, right? So to make the process of language learning easy, the mother is making the task, listening task, easy. That is called mother is. But unfortunately, this is not happening when you learn a second language. English language you're learning as a second language. At that point of time, no teacher will place effort to tell a particular word 15, 20 number of times, or 80 times, until you repeat it in the right way. This you have to understand. So that a great difference lies there. And so that then again, if I want to speak more about this, I should also speak about language learning and acquiring. That may be after explaining this, if I get enough time, I'll tell you. And your mistakes were appreciated. Do you know that? When you started learning your mother tongue, when you started speaking in your mother tongue, your mistakes were appreciated and enjoyed. The mother or the father, I know sometimes they tell the neighbors, telling that, see, என் பையன் ஸ்பூன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு டூன் 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 அப்படிங்கிறான். அதுல ஒரு சந்தோஷம். They are happy about that. But when you learn a second language, if you mispronounce a word, will the English teacher spare you? Your mistakes sometimes will be seen as crimes. They are not happy when you make that kind of mistakes. So there lies the difference. Now you should understand. So the first one is acquiring. You acquire your first language. The acquisition, when you acquire something, it's an unconscious process. Without knowing that you're learning something, you're learning it. And the entire universe or the entire people who are surrounding you, they are creating the ambience for that. They are motivating, no demotivation. But when you learn a second language, you have these many limitations, like if you place the wrong grammar, if you go with the wrong utterances, people are not ready to spare you. So this you have to understand. Now, what to listen? What should you listen? See, there is a saying: If you listen more, you can speak better English. If you listen more, you can speak better English. If you read more, you can write error-free English. So listening can directly influence your speaking, and reading can directly influence your writing. Now, what to listen? Actually, you people are damn lucky. The people of this generation, the 2K kids, you're damn lucky, because in our days when we were learning, you can you can just imagine, like, our listening or our input that we received in the target language, the input that we received in English were just limited. It was just limited. Of course, I hail from a rural background, and I'll tell you one interesting example how the society is influencing your language. I'll tell you. For 6 7 years, I was in Chennai, and after a long time, I came back to my native place. I went to a nearby shop, and I asked for a matchbox. Vatipatti, I asked Vatipatti. And the shopkeeper was, sorry, I asked him matchbox. I asked the man matchbox. The shopkeeper was staring at me. The person, he was familiar to me. I was using the term matchbox. Twice or thrice he was staring on my face. Then I signaled him with the shake of my hand, like, matchbox, matchbox. He was not able to locate the object for me. Then I pointed at the object and then I told, okay, Batti Potti. Then what did he do? Then he understood the thing, he gave it to me. Now, then I recalled that now I am not in Chennai, I am in my native place. So the society, urban or rural, if you are in a urbanized area, there are a lot of chances that you will get more input. Even if you go to a shop, the shopkeeper will talk to you in English. But when you are from a rural background, there are limitations. In our days, we had no choice but to listen to only our teachers. Our teachers were the prime source of input for us in terms of language, in terms of second language enhancement. Our professors, our teachers, they laid a heavy influence on us in terms of our communication. And if at all there were some errors in the way in which they spoke or in which they pronounced a particular word, we had no other choice but to follow or carry those mistakes to the next generation, because we had limited access to native speakers. But now, with the advance of technology, with the boon of technology, with smartphones, with every one of you, there are wonders you can make. There are umpty number of websites. There are umpty number of news channels, from BBC to NDTV. From if you want, you can. People who are listening to me, you can note it down. Note down this website: www.ted.com. There is something called TED Talks, TED, TED.com or TED Talks. You have even apps where people who are expertise in their own field, like maybe language teachers, maybe if you're a student of chemistry, then scientists, then doctors, they come and make their presentation in their own expertise, and those things you can listen in English, in beautiful English, presentable English. uh, and there are so many benefits for that, because when you listen to your own field, you will also mug up or understand or come across some of the vocabulary that people of your particular field are frequently using. That also should be enhanced. And now, what to listen? As I told you, see, there are too many apps. There are too many apps. There are movies, English movies you can watch, news channels you can watch. But only sticking to news channels also will not serve the purpose. During our school days, it was told that if you listen to news channels, you can enhance your communication skill. But there is a limitation to that, because in news channels, they use only one style, report style. They only use the language to report something to us. But there are too many varieties of language. We not only use language for reporting, but we also use language for so many other things. Like, see, imagine a physician or a doctor. This is the common example which English teachers speak. A doctor or a physician, when he comes out of his house, the kind of language or the variety of language which he is using with his homemade will be entirely different from the language that he is using with his wife, and that's going to be entirely different from the language that he is using with his children. Then imagine he comes to the hospital and he attends patients, and the kind of language which he'll be using with his patients, or the variety of language which he's using with his patient will be different. And as such, when he is attending a patient, imagine as if he is receiving a call from his colleague doctor, and they are speaking about some ailment or some medicine for some ailment. They'll be using their language which you will never understand, because the technical terms which are only limited to their field, you won't understand. So what to listen? Listen from topics, start listening from topics that interest you. Science fiction, if that is interesting you, listen to something of that kind from YouTube. Then action thrillers, of course, what will happen is that the dialogues will be limited. Love stories, if that is what is interesting you, listen to that, watch that kind of movies. Or like subjects like family oriented subjects, watch movies, watch tele serials, not in Tamil, not in your regional language, but in Amazon Prime is also supplying you, I think, because you have mobile phones. I know you people can easily access those kind of sites. So whenever you view that, you should understand that you are doing it not for just for entertainment. You are listening or you are viewing it just to enhance your communication skill, just to enhance your listening skill. Now, one technique to listen is listening from more general to specific. There is no assurance that when you listen something for the first time, you will understand that. No. If you're not a native speaker, if you are never used to this kind of a listening, if you're listening something in English for the first time, you won't understand. But since you people are educated, since you have done your schoolings for almost 10-12 years, you will get a general information about what the topic is all about. That itself will satisfy the purpose. So first you should uh, move from general to specific. You will not understand all the words spoken by a native speaker at the first attempt. So if you in a half an hour speech, if you are able to follow 10 concepts, then okay, 10% of listening is happening. Or sometimes no, if you more than that, 50. So to grade yourself, I'll tell you an example. English album songs. See, this is what, if it was a direct a program of this kind, what I would have done is that I would have played you some audio songs. But unfortunately, I think sometimes no, during the presentation, the audio and video will not support effectively. So I'll tell you some album songs. Like these are the songs that I play. It's one starts with "Show me the meaning of being lonely." This is the song which I play. Show me the meaning of being lonely. Uh, so there must be some people who frequently listen to these kind of songs, English songs. So make it a practice that you listen to English songs. By listening to that songs, try to attempt the lyrics. Try to write down the lyrics. I know you cannot do that, but at least one or two words you will understand. Note it down. Listen it for a second time, third time, a fourth time, or a fifth time. Try filling all the blanks which you left at the first time. So some maybe maximum 25% of words you can recall. Now Google and get the lyrics of that song. Now check what you have written with the actual lyrics. Now, if you can get 25% of things right or 50% of things right, so that is your percentage of listening skill. To that extent, you are good at listening and understanding things. Okay. So now this slide speaks about some of the barriers to listening. So what are the barriers? Lack of prior knowledge. Because you're listening to a topic which is not familiar to you and you don't have prior knowledge to that particular topic, that will not interest you. Lack of concentration and attention. Nowadays, it is being told that, especially for 2K kids, the span of attention is very little, and and they compare with the attention span of a fruit fly. Fruit fly, like you sit on a fruit, then it will fly. So that kind of a thing. So that you have to train yourself to concentrate and focus on one particular task. Lack of exposure to listening material. So lack of exposure, of course, since you people are majority of you will be from uh, rural areas, so lack of exposure to listening materials. To address the third problem, I have given 3 websites below. You can note it down. One is VOA Special English. VOA Special English. So if you go through this website, you have empty number of audios with the text. Just by listening, you can follow up the text. Then there is another website called BBC 6 Minute English, which you can make use of. Small clippings of BBC news, and after which, based on the news which you have viewed, some questions will be asked. You can make use of that. Then you have ello.org. Then you have learnoutloud.com. So these are some materials or some websites through which you can make use of for listening activity. And another thing which is a boon, I would say, is audiobooks. Audiobooks. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this. See, these days, when you buy a book, like if you buy uh, books of Robin Sharma or motivational books of some best-selling authors, or sometimes it is being told that even the textbooks for your subject, you get audiobooks. Audiobooks are very simple, and it's another easy way to enhance your listening skill and also your speaking skill. See, the textbook will be like this. You can just open and glance over the textbook from line 1 to the last line, and yeah, something went wrong. No, I think now I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir, it's audible now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, the advantage with audiobooks is that you have the convenience of copying that particular audio file in your iPod or in your mobile phone, and at any point of time, like when you're traveling by train or bus, you can have the book in front of you, and you don't have to read. You don't have to strain yourself to read. Somebody else, most of the time, a native speaker will be reading the book for you. So what you'll do is that you'll just go glance over the lines. The advantage is that you will know how to pronounce a particular word, you will know where to pause, you will know what kind of a feeling that you will have to attribute to that particular content in that text. So all these things you will get just by listening to audiobooks, and these were things which we did not have, these kind of blessing we did not have during our days. So those who are not familiar with audiobooks, please do purchase these kind of audiobooks. Or I'd like to inform you that there is something like this called audiobooks, which people are making use of. So you people also make use of this to enhance your listening skill. So the next thing, I think, since we are running out of time, we'll skip immediately to the next one. The next one will be speaking. So from listening, as I told you earlier, if you speak better, you can, sorry, if you listen more, you can speak better. So when you speak, you should beware of three things. One, the pace in which you speak. Pace, clarity, and volume. People who are listening to me, you can note it down. Pace, clarity, and volume. PCV. This is applicable both to English speaking and whatever language that you speak. Whatever language is your native language. If you want to convince somebody through your speech, or if you want to make effective presentation, you have to be aware of your pace, clarity, and volume. Pace is nothing but the speed in which you speak. PACE, pace. So it's being told that a native speaker, a well-educated native speaker, in the sense a Oxford student or a Cambridge one. So do you know how many number of words they can incorporate per minute? It's nothing but 100 to 120 words. That is the maximum speed. 100 to 120 words per minute they can speak. But the so-called fluent speaker, I'm using the term in quotes, so-called, the so-called fluent speaker, an Indian speaker, a so-called fluent speaker, whom sometimes you admire, a person from a place like from an urban region, or a person from Chennai, whom you think as, wow, he speaks beautifully. Sometimes you also attribute this. Supera pesna, onnume puriyala. That's a greatness that we attribute. ஒண்ணுமே புரியல அதனால நல்லா பேசினார், because he speaks very fast. You won't believe the so-called speaker, Indian speaker, especially from South India, they say can incorporate more than 120, almost 150 words he can speak per minute. But that is not the right way of doing it. That is not the, we think that when you speak fast, you're speaking like a native speaker. That's not right. You have to maintain good pace. Until you get the rhythm and flow of a native speaker, you are not supposed to speak fast. 150 words. Why do we do that? Why do we speak so fast? Two reasons. One, we think that when we speak fast, we are sounding like a native speaker. The second thing, we are scared about the little mistakes that we make, and we want to hide this mistake somewhere inside our language, because sometimes, no, I'm not against school teachers. Sometimes, no, if you get unlucky teachers who will always point at you, of course, grammar is important, but still there are teachers who will always point at your grammar mistake. இது ஈஸ் இல்ல, வாஸ் ஆஃப், இது கூட தெரியலையா, this and that, and then you get fed up with English. And finally, whenever you plan an utterance in your mind, you will think இதுல ஈஸ் வருமா, வாஸ் வருமா. Finally, because you're fed up, you want to hide your mistakes somewhere. You speak very fast, assuming that the people will not notice the tiny mistake that you make in between. So that is one reason why our people speak very fast. The second thing is clarity. See, there should be clarity in what you speak, and especially in management studies, they say that when somebody introduces themselves, the way in which they utter their name. For example, see Pranesh Kumar, that's my name, Pranesh Kumar. So sometimes if you ask students for a self introduction, the first name will be audible, the second name will not be audible. That shows lack of confidence, and there is no clarity in their speech. So when we speak about clarity, then we should also speak about uh, uh, syllable syllable stress. I'm not going deep into that, but coming back to my point, whatever you speak, அதாவது bench, desk, other, the importance that you give to potato, computer, teacher, teacher, paper, pencil, all syllables. There are certain areas where the certain syllables need not be stressed, but apart from that, only when you attribute some clarity to what you speak, the listener will be convinced, and that is the right way of doing it. The third one, volume, audibility, sound. You should speak louder. It should come from your where? Not from here, but from your diaphragm, inside. Most of the time when I train students for interview, I tell them, speak louder, speak louder. And very often girls, when I ask them to speak louder, I see them straining this place. Not here. It should come from your diaphragm, deep inside your stomach. From there, you have to control your what? Lungs to push out air through your diaphragm and then produce sound. So why does it matter? Why sound matters? Why should you speak louder? See, the best example I would say political campaign. Most of the time, you might have seen your political leaders during election campaign. They'll be shouting. They'll be shouting at the peak of their voice, even after having a microphone in front of them. Why do they do that? Because, see, generally, when you speak louder, the listener is forced to believe what you speak. Moreover, you are convincing the listener by telling that you have command over what you are speaking. That's why, especially during political campaign, even after knowing that say 80 to 90% of what they speak is rubbish, you are forced to stay there and listen to what they speak. That lies the secret. So pace, clarity, and volume. Now ask yourself, which one do you lack? Pace in the sense you should not because I told that some of our speakers are speaking very fast. You should also not lag behind. Okay, gradually with a good pace, with good clarity and good volume, you should speak. So now coming back to the slides which I yeah. So these are the three: pace, clarity, and volume. Then we also have public speaking, speech apprehension. Speech apprehension, public speaking, like addressing a crowd. So at any point of time, you people will have to do this. I know majority of you people will be having stage fear at this point of time, which you will not be having tomorrow, which you should not have tomorrow. If you don't overcome the stage fear in your life, you are going to miss umpty number of opportunities which can fetch you fame and money. I know as adults, you people have big dreams, like you should buy this car, you should buy this. Uh, I should build a luxury home. I should marry a beautiful person or a handsome guy. If you want your all these dreams to be fulfilled, guys, believe me, I'm not joking. You have to enhance your communication skills. Speak. There are no successful people in the society who lack communication skill. All successful people in the society have good communication skill. And these public speaking skill, there are thousands and thousands of example I can give you. There are students, there are people who have denied their promotions, like any sector, like banking sector. They enter, they're skilled laborers. They do too many job, and when they are being given promotion, there are people who have denied promotions because in their early teens they did not take attempts to overcome their stage fear. They did not train themselves in public speaking. Because and see, naturally, when you're promoted to a manager or a divisional manager, you will have to meet so many people, address people, convince people. You should know to you should be a good orator, not a good, at least a orator. So because these people at the initial stages of their life did not overcome their stage fear, now they have developed the speech apprehension, and they are missing too many opportunities in their life. One example, I'll tell you, a friend of mine who is working for a company in Chennai, years back he dialed me, and he was telling me that, Pranesh, overnight, and he's not a guy who never who usually makes a confession, something like a confession. He was calling me overnight and telling, Pranesh, uh, please suggest me some books through which I can enhance my speaking skills and writing skill. Then I asked him, see, so and so, what went wrong? See, you never asked for these things. No, what happened? No, Pranesh, I'm really fed up. See, in my it's a reputed company. It's a dream company for many engineering students. And he was telling me, Pranesh, I'm in a project. I'm one of the members in a team who is supposed to report to my team leader. Do you know something? The majority chunk or the major chunk of the task I do, the content edit, this one, the web designing and everything, all those things I do. And there is a guy in my team who is good in his communication skill. He takes all these things to the team leader, he presents it, he convinces the manager, and he's getting all the appreciation. I do all the task and he's getting all the appreciation. Why is that happening? Because I lack communication skill and he has it. And now this is the right time for you. One more interesting message I'm telling you. See, our brain, the human brain, is capable of learning any number of languages. And that is going to be active only during till the adulthood. Even after adulthood, you can learn a language, but not you cannot speak and write it as fluently and accurately as people who did it during their teen. Because your brain, they say that there is a concept called brain plasticity. Your brain is capable of adjusting itself to any internal or external lesion means damage, and it can recover. So that kind of a flexible movement will be high in your brain during your childhood stage and your adulthood stage. And after adulthood, gradually it will decline. So if you want to enhance your communication skill, if you want to be more accurate and fluent in the kind of language that you speak, you have to start practicing right now. This is the time. So what are the things that you want to do to speak better? To speak, you have to speak. You should make use of all the opportunities that you get. See, imagine at the end of the class, the teacher is asking you, see, somebody give me a feedback on the class. Did you like the class? At that point of time, you can study. Yes, sir, I like the class, especially the interesting factor. The class was this. I liked this point which you shared. Then gradually, vote of thanks. Then gradually, next chance you will get a welcome speech. When you take this opportunity, you are putting leadership on display. Your leadership quality is shown to the society, so that people are watching you. Your teacher will be watching you. Okay, this guy is capable of doing this. This guy is capable of using this kind of vocabulary. We'll give him more chances. That is how leaders are made. Studying grammar will never improve your speaking. By listening this, don't think that I am strictly against grammar, because without grammar, it's like it's like an animal without bone. Grammar is important, but when we speak in terms of speaking skills, Don't worry about your grammar. Speak louder, speak with confidence, so that your mistakes or the grammatical mistakes will be watched by your peer groups or your teachers on, and later they'll correct it for you, so that even if you feel insulted, you will not repeat that error again in your life. So what you have to speak, even if you feel that there are some grammatical mistakes inside, don't worry about your grammar to enhance your speaking skill. This is a message which I'm giving you. Only listening will not improve speaking skill. I told you that through listening you can enhance your speaking skill, but just keeping on listening and never grabbing any opportunity for output, only input is coming, there is no output, no, that will not help you. Speak through imitation. This is an important point. See, language learning is nothing but pure imitation. Imitation another. Some people are very good at imitating others. You can make, you can mimic yourself like Rajnikant. You can mimic yourself like Sivakarthikeyan. You can mimic yourself like Vivek or any other comedian. So these things you can do. If you're good at that, you should understand that language learning is also imitation. You imitate like a native speaker. You look at them, you watch their lip movement, you listen to their sound carefully, then you imitate. Sometimes you can also exaggerate during the process. It's, see, wow, it's good. Wow, it's good. It's amazing. So when you listen that, you feel like exaggerating, over pesraru. Or sometimes when you speak that, your listener will feel that this guy, he's exaggerating. You have to exaggerate. That's what they say. To speak better English, you have to exaggerate at the initial stages. There are people who are, if there are people with people among you who will make fun of you, please ignore that. Okay, and always move around with people whom you think are speaking better English than you. First thing, ignore people who do demotivate you. After what you do is that one fine day you start speaking English, then your friend will say, hey, என்னடா ஒழுங்கா தான் நேத்து வரை பேசிட்டு இருந்த, இன்னைக்கு என்ன பெருசா English. That kind of friends, please do keep away, because tomorrow when you complete the course and enroll yourself or go in your HR's room to attend an interview, this guy who demotivated you will not speak for you there. You have to speak on your behalf. So initially people may mock at you, telling that, okay, so, but please do ignore that. Please turn your deaf ears to them. And always don't, if you want to enhance your communication skill, don't fuck with people whom you think are comfortable, like whom you think are people who are speaking English as like you, or who speak English similar to you. Please don't fuck with them. Move around with people whom you think are speaking better English than you, because there's a concept called I+1. I is your input, plus 1 is the next level. Always jump to the next level. You only know which is your I, initial stage. Learn English in chunks. This is another secret. Just by learning vocabulary, you cannot enhance your communication skills. Chunks. Chunks means chunk of words. For example, when you learn chunk of words, you can easily create new expressions. For instance, somebody is asking you, why don't you join me for a cup of tea? Or would you mind joining me for a cup of tea? Would you mind joining me? These are chunks. Would you mind? So now when you learn this chunk, you can create new expressions. So we use this expression for joining for tea. The same expression you can, do you mind joining me for a movie? Do you mind joining me for a ride? Okay, so these kind of chunks, always give importance to these kind of chunks. If you learn language in these kind of expressive chunks, easily you can enhance your speaking skills. And there is another important thing, know your audience. You should know with whom you're talking only according to their level. Just because you know you are sound in something, it is not a place to show all your vocabulary skills. And yeah, sometimes, you know, as I told earlier, நல்லா பேசினாரு ஆனா ஒண்ணுமே புரியல. That kind of a thing should not happen, because the purpose of communication is to convey one message to the other person. You should also think from the point of your audience, what they can understand. Also, the choice of vocabulary. One word that you speak is going to add image to you. So even a single word counts. That's a beautiful example. Usually they say with a school teacher. Uh, See, sometimes, no, when a classroom is noisy, a class teacher appears immediately, and the teacher will be telling that, is this a class or a fish market? So now the teacher is using the analogy of a fish market to compare it with a class. Okay, she's comparing the classroom with a fish market. So usually they say this kind of expression the teacher should not use, because when you draw some image for comparison, it shows that you are familiar with that image. It says that the person or the teacher who is using the fish market is more familiar with the
Hello. Hello. Ramesh. இது கட்டாயி ஸ்டக்காக நிற்குது. நான் இப்போ ஜஸ்ட் 1 minute ஆச்சு. 30 seconds 1 minute தான். இப்போதைக்கு நீ க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடு. நம்ம இன்னொரு செஷன் வந்து அடுத்த இதில் நம்ம ஆட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இப்போ வந்து அவங்களுக்கு கன்க்ளூடிங் மார்க் மட்டும் சொல்லிடு. அப்புறம் சரி, இப்போ தான் 30 seconds சரி எடுத்துக்கலாம். Good morning. There is a little technical snag. So the guest will come and give his concluding lines. So kindly stay online for a few minutes. Yes, once again, we apologize for this disturbance. So the guest has left the meeting and he couldn't rejoin the meet due to some technical problem. And I hope you had some wonderful session in the morning. So he was speaking about challenges in learning second language. And as he said, if you want to learn the second language, you have to listen a lot. The more you listen, the more you speak. So the takeaway from the first session is we have to listen a lot if you want to learn a second language. And that is the end of the session one. Now let's move to the session two. So the chief guest of this session, the session two is Miss Hemavati Tamilmaran, and she is an alumnus of our college from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. She completed her schooling from Our Lady of Lords Girls Higher Secondary School in the year 2012. She did her BE in Electronics and Communication Engineering during the years 2012 to 2016. She got selected in Wipro Technologies Limited through campus interview and is currently working directly with clients in London as senior project engineer. And some of her key achievements in her career include she developed an application in Java Spring Boot framework as a micro service for a famous bank in UK. She contributed technically to a power supplier and who are supplying electricity for UK for more than 120 years. She developed an application that aims at a solution to find the authenticity of the news in Facebook, that is to check fake news. And she developed an application in Angular Ionic framework to demonstrate the supply chain business between a leading company and its vendor. She strongly believes in women empowerment and constantly working towards it. And we have invited Hemavati for this session because her presence and speech will be highly motivating to you all. Because long back, I remember she came to this college as a very shy girl, so she hesitates a lot to speak in the first few months. She developed all kind of interpersonal skills. She developed her technical skills, and instead of being an easy student, she developed her programming skills. Now she is doing wonder in UK in her place of work. She has developed plenty of applications, and she's also doing modeling in UK. And I hope her presence and speech will motivate you all. And now I hand over the session to Hema. Hema, please.
Thank you so much for your kindly words. I'm so happy that I'm talking in front of the gods of my education. The opportunity which I got only from our college in the beginning stage of my childhood and the college days was very tough because I have done my schooling in Tamil medium and I didn't have much exposure to the English language because English was one of the subjects in my schooling. So when I got into college, it was very tough to study everything in English. and I struggle a lot, very lot, and I try to write every essays, 2 marks, 7 mark, whatever it is. I try to write it in a paper, then I read it, then I compared with the books, and it was a very tough time when I joined our college. But our professors are excellent in helping people to come out of their the box. So like I basically think out of box helped me a lot when I was doing my college. So it's we are having excellent professors, excellent staff members, and the helping lab assistants, whoever it is, they help me a lot to be here like this. It's all only because of our my school and the college, especially in college. So I'm happy to come back again. So it's 6 o'clock here. I have been waiting from 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so basically, I'm going to talk about the struggles, the people who are from other language to English studies, basically in studies. So when we are moving from one language to another language, we try to learn something new, and we want to be more confident on what we are talking. So this is how we can implement our plus and minus, we can say pros and cons, whatever, wherever we are. So the first step from any other language nowadays in our college, people are coming from different states and they are studying here. They are getting some jobs and they are living their life and they are rocking. So that opportunity which I got is from a college campus interview. I'm doing my best here, and everyone is proud of me. I'm so thankful to my parents as well. In first place, so coming to the exams on students from other languages. So basically, from my experience, I'm from the child Tamil schooling, Tamil medium schooling. Um, the first thing which I have done is I asked the professors so what to study and what to not study. So in the first stage of engineering, we will get lots of stuff. We will get lots of books, papers, online documents. We will get lots of stuff. We will be confused with the documents, books, what we need to study. So in the initial stage of study, I would recommend people to study from the scratch. Like you should study the concept, then you try to convert into your own language. So it should not be like the proper book statement should be in the exam paper. It won't work like that. Except some theorems. Theorems we can't make our own, except that we can make our own sentence, as Pranit sir talked about in the previous session. It was a nice session though. Um, so we should listen, we should speak. Whatever we listen, what we can speak. So that's a basic stuff. And I don't have any presentation over here. I just here to discuss about how we can improve our struggles in the college days. So yeah, I hope instead of giving the presentation in a videos or slides, it won't make much result more than talking about those stuff. So yeah, so from Tamil medium, I just studied for 8 hours, 10 hours every day, and I would thank the electronics and communication engineering department staffs because I am from the background. So they help me a lot to make sure I am getting some good marks to pass the terminals in the first semester. And yeah, I have failed in one subject. I have failed in chemistry in the first semester terminal exam. I felt that okay, we are from Tamil medium, so we are struggling a lot. We can't study more. We can't pass the exam, but it won't work like that. Then the second semester, first terminal, I got 40 plus. So my staff encouraged me. saying that you were failed in the first terminal and you are passed in the second terminal exam. So that makes us to feel like we are progressing somewhat. So like if we are in 0%, in the second day we should be zero point 0.1 at least. So that makes a progression. So if we are like 0 0 0, there is no progression. We should progress ourselves like 0 1 2 3. We can't jump from 0 to 100. We can go step by step by learning, by getting a help from the professors or your friends, uh, your parents, whoever. If you need a class, if you need any extracurricular activities which makes you study more and get so many marks, do it. So don't think about coaching classes. It's not 12th or 10th. It's engineering. We should learn whatever we want. So end of the engineering, you should be good enough to get your own position. So if you are friends for 4 years in the all over the engineering, so if you passed out of your college, you will need some job. So if you need job, you should study at least 60 plus percentage. 60 plus is a benchmark for all the companies when you are moving out. So if you want to get a job, at least you should have 65 percentage in every 10th, 12th and engineering. It's not only that, it's just a benchmark to enter into the interviews. So there will be a 4 5 interviews over there, and you should pass every interviews. With 65 percentage you can't make progress, but with 65 percentage you can step into the interview and you can show your talent over there, and you can go ahead with your skills. The skills is only comes from when you listen to your classrooms. So if you listen to your professors, lecturers, then you will get the progress of your brain. So if you don't progress your brain without listening to your class or any career development skills, it won't work out in any industry. So, as I told earlier, I was so struggled with developing an English skill in my first year of engineering. It quite complicated and it quite annoyed when you are getting into something which we don't know usually. See, from schooling, we don't have much exposure to uh, talking in English because people from our background, they mock at us if we talk in English, but it won't work if you don't talk English. So not only English helps you, so the confidence which you are talking about makes you feel so powerful. So if I am talking now, I should know something about what I am talking, or I should know what I am talking about. That makes sense if you are listening to. And one more point about listening. Uh, if I listen to somebody and I will answer whatever they ask for. So if I don't ask or listen to the people who are talking near me, it won't make sense uh, to the person who they are talking what about and what I am listening to. It doesn't make any sense between the people who are communicating. So communication is between two people or one to many or many to one. It doesn't matter whoever it is. It should be listenable. You should listen and talk. So that makes your progress level more and more. It helps in your classroom. So when the professors or lecturer taking the lectures, so you should listen to what they are talking and what they are talking about. And if you have any doubts, you should raise your hand and ask for a question. Ma'am or sir, I need to I have a question. I want to know more about it without shy, without any negative impact on what you are asking. If it is related to your lecturers or it's not about something else. We know most of the people are watching the trendy shows, Big Boss, IPL match, cinemas, whatever movies comes. We are so excited about what is coming new, that like that, you should be excited about what is new in the engineering industry. So if you want to be a core engineer, you should focus on the new trendy events which is happening in the companies. For example, Bell, BSNL, or for mechanical students, their own industry. For IT students, their Wipro, TCS. So whoever is coming into engineering, set your goal for at least 1 year. So once you set your goal for 1 year, just focus on the goal. So you should mind in your life that you have a goal for 1 year, you are focusing on it, you are working on it. So without work, without you put in your effort, there is no use of setting a goal and focusing on it. Without hard work or without doing something on your goal, you can't make a progression in your goal career. So set your goal once you come into the first year. So now you are here for your career. So this is the most important thing, not only for boys, girl, for girls also. Set your goal for 1 year and focus on what you are working on. So what you want to be. So when I started my engineering, I was thinking that I want to go to core, but the day goes on, day by day, our mind will say, okay, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, but studying engineering and focusing on lawyer or something else doesn't work. If you want to be an engineer, you are studying engineering. Or if someone forced you to study engineering, do your best, but study with your own wish. It should not be like forcing someone and he's or she's studying and it won't progress, it won't work out. So if you want to become a like engineer, like an engineer or engineer in some of the industry, it will work like you should study, progress, work for your interviews, then get into job. So getting job is not a easy stuff. You should study, you should put your efforts on the career development skills. For career development skills, we have an amazing team in our college. Um, we have we have a session on each and every classrooms for every week, once or twice. So you should utilize those career development skills. That helped me a lot when I was doing my engineering in our college. So utilize whatever is available. We have a big library over there. We have lots of book. And if you want to study related to the career development or the engineering books, we have lots of book, lots of references. If you ask your professors, they will help you to find out where the book is and which book you have to study. And if you have a doubt also, you can go to your professor's place and you can ask, ma'am, I have a doubt. I want to clear, I want more clarification on it. After the class also, you can go and ask them. They are very helpful to the students and they help me a lot personally. So apart from college, for your career development, I want to talk more on it because end of the engineering, you need a job. You want to go for a job. So for we are focusing on a job and the salary. That's why we are into the higher studies. So in the undergraduate engineering, you should focus on your career development. So as Prince sir talked about the listening, speaking, writing, and mm, reading skills. So that's the basic stuff which you entered into engineering. So if some people might think, okay, we need to study uh, English in translate of Tanglish. So if you want to study like that, you can study. But still, when you write an exam, you can't make the own sentences, or you can't even write. You have a tips, you have a hint, but you have to write the exams. So if you know the concept in Tamil, but you can't write it in English without knowing how can you frame a sentence. So that you have to work more on it. So we have English classes, technical English in first place, and you can ask the teacher or ask the staff to give more inputs on it, and you should take your own step as well. So for each and every student, the staff can't stand behind them and tell them, write this, write that, study this, study that. We should take care, we should use the time, utilize the professor's time to get what you need. So what you have to then is to um, take the notes, take the points, whatever you want, go to library, browse it there, Google it, or take books, references, study well. If you have a doubt, go back to your staff and get the answers. Then you can write in your own. Just write. That's it. Write and read it. When you read it, it improves your reading skill. So if when you read it, you will find out, oh my God, we have done some mistakes over here. Okay, cheer up. Let's not do this next time. So next time when you write it, it will remind you saying that you have done the mistake previously. So you will not do the mistake again and again in the same place. So that might be one of the way to improve your reading and listening skills. So when you are in the college, it helps you when you are writing your exam. So this is especially for people who are from other languages. Uh, don't worry about the English language. It's just a language. We can learn so many languages in future. So it doesn't matter if you are from any of the state or any of the language based, or if you don't know English, it won't make any big deal. So it's very easy to learn. So as we are starting from the beginning, we don't need to go further advanced English. We don't need it. We just need a simple English, then we can enhance it. But before the interview, so I got interview for about 3 hours in our campus. So my technical interview went like 1 hour, and my general HR went for 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours, they asked me, what's your father, what's your mother, the basic stuff. So in the initial stage, they won't ask you what is the microprocessor doing inside, or what is the machine is doing inside. It won't work like that. So they just want to test your confidence and your um, self-esteem. So self-esteem is just a tool for you to get your self shined in front of anyone in public. So basically, they tested the confidence level on you. And the second point is they will test your learning skill. So learning will come into place if you are ready to learn. So you will be like, okay, now if you don't learn English or any other languages like C, Java, embedded C, so many languages are there. So which helps you in long term after your graduation. So if you don't ready to learn, if you get into a job, you will not have a mindset to learn new things, so it won't help you in your job. So they will tell you like, see Hema, you are not listening, and you are not ready to learn new things, and we don't like the person in our company. So they will ask me to leave if I am not ready to learn. So you should be ready to learn, and you should be a good learner, good listener, good speaker, good writer. We don't need to be a excellent in every stuff. We should at least how to write, at least how to read, and how to talk, how to listen. So these four things make you more confident on your personal skills. That's the most important thing. And coming to the struggles from schooling to college. So school, we usually have a homework every day, and we'll be like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted with homework. I don't want to write. And tomorrow I have a class test. I have a math. I have a physics. I don't want to learn. And these are the steps we have faced in our schooling, and we wouldn't have loved. the class test, class questions, everything. So we enjoyed our school days, school friends. But if you are get into engineering, it's your career. Schooling is just a percentage, um, on the out of 100 percentage. That's just a benchmark for entering into your higher studies. So that's it. So schooling don't work like how engineering works. So engineer is an engineer. You are not still a student. You are an engineer. So think like an engineer. You should not focus on whatever is outside. Like if you get into engineering college, you are an engineer. You should think like an engineer, and you should not go back again to your school days. So you can't compare school and college. I was like this in school, and college is so annoying, or college is doing asking me to do this, do that. It is a college, and you are an engineer. You are here to learn about engineering, any other industry like mechanical, automobile, EC, whatever it is. And in the laboratories, if you're going to do some test, test as in some demos or some little bit chemical reactions in chemistry lab and some plumbing work, some civil related stuff. It will be so exciting and interesting to do something which uh, we haven't done in our past. So school days, we don't know how the processor works, how the machines work, so the internal process of everything, we really don't know. So the TV is there. Okay, we are simply sitting and watching TV. That's it. But in the engineering, you will get a mindset like, okay, what is inside the TV? Okay, let's open it, and you will get a smash from your parents as well if you open the TV. But we are not repair or something uh, shop. We are not doing a shop. We are an engineer. We know the process of how it works. You should not go to your parents saying that I am engineer, I'm going to open the TV, or I'm going to dismantle my bike and I will assemble it. No, it's not. You should think like an engineer, as in you should know how it works and how can we enhance it. Enhance it like, so in the previous days, we have TVS Excel, then we have a Pleasure, then now Royal Enfield, Harley Davidson, everything. There is a evaluation in the bike, like car, small car, nano car, big one, Audi, Benz. So it's an evaluation of the industry. So you should be one of the part members in the industry, and you should not be like, okay, I don't want to expose myself. I don't want to do anything. I will be sitting at my college, and I don't want to do anything. I will not go out. I will not go for a job. No, that's not really works in your career. So once you get into college, look for options, look for opportunities outside the world. Not only studying works, look for the opportunities. So that's why I got the opportunity from Wipro. I'm thankful to Wipro as well. And I grabbed that opportunity to get my career into the next level. So that's why I'm here and talking to you guys. So that's a big thing for me. Coming from a small village and living in London, it makes me a different situation and career growth in my life. So like that, if you are putting your more efforts, 100% hard work and smart work, everything put together, and focus on what you are doing and what you need in your life, that makes a difference. So what you need and what you want is different. So that's the most important thing. So what you want is like, if you look at a flower in a plant, so if you look at the flower, you will be like, oh my God, this flower is so nice and I want it. So if you want it, you will pluck it. So you will pluck the flower and you will have the flower. But it will last for few hours. It won't last for a days. So if you need the flower, you will plant the flower. So if you put pour the water for the plant, it will grow and it will give more flowers. So that makes a difference. If you want, you will pluck it, you will pluck the flower. If you pluck the flower, it won't last for a long time. If you want the flower, if you need the flower, you will pour the water. So if you pour the water, the plant will grow up. So you will get more and more opportunities. Life is like that. So if you want your life, the life will not give you more choices. If you need your life, if you need your goals, you will look for more opportunities more and more by putting your efforts and the hard work. So that makes a difference in your life. So put your efforts, look for an opportunity, and you will definitely get the opportunity. India is land of job. So we might think, okay, there is no hope for IT, or there is no hope for mechanical, there is no hope for anything. No, it's not. You are not looking for an opportunity. Still, I'm getting so many job search options from India. So there are lots of opportunities in India. We are not utilizing it. That's the problem. So if you have an opportunity in your hand, still you will think like, oh my God, okay, there is an opportunity and I want to take it, but I will take it later. The later makes you feel dump and make you put you down in your career. So if you have an opportunity, grab it. Don't leave it, grab it and do your best. Then you will find out the result later, but the result will definitely comes to you. So once you have done your job, so without giving your 100 percentage, you will not get anything out of it. That will not make any sense as well. And if you need any career advice, you can contact the career development department for further steps. For the struggles, we talked about much, and for the girls and boys. So if now you are into college, so schooling is apart, you have many friends, you have many gang, you will go out, go to restaurants, trips, planning for dinner, lunch, whatever. It's all about schooling. So schooling is over. Now you are a college student. College student should work on your career goals. So it should not be like a joke or comic kind of stuff. No, it's not. Once you come into the engineering, you should do your work seriously and sincerely at every time. So the most thing you should do is listen to your professors, lecturers. That is enough. So I'm not bond with so many books. I'm not a bond of book guy. But I do listen to the professors what they are teaching to me. So I listen to them. I took notes. If you look at my the notes which I've taken while they are teaching, that's similar to the book which I'm going to refer. So like that, I I do take notes whatever they are teaching me. So once I go back to my room, I will look and I will look for something. Did I miss anything, or I have to ask the ma'am tomorrow. So I will look for it, or if I need to fill up any things, then I will go to the professor's cabin. Then I will ask them, ma'am, I don't know what you were talking about this topic, and I have a doubt on this topic. Can you explain me more? And they will help you out. If you want to refer a book and ask them, they have options, many options. We are very new to engineering. So if you are new to some stuff, you should ask the experienced people. They might experience lots of stuff and lots of situations over there. So don't hesitate to ask questions while you are listening to the class. Ask questions, ask doubts, clear your doubts end of the session or end of the day. If you take the baggage in your head for 1 month, some people says, ma'am, 1 month before you took a topic, I'm not familiar with that. Can you explain me? So after 1 month, it won't work. So after 1 month, which means you are just giving an what do we call this? Just opinion. You are not bond with what your professors taught you. So once you have a doubt, clear it at the same time. That makes sense. If you ask the doubt for another 1 month, after 1 month, if you ask them, they will give you a clarification. But how? What are the things you have in my mind, in your mind? So if you watch a movie, so for example, okay, you are going to watch Master movie. Vijay is acting over there, and you will be like, in the one scene, Vijay was wearing that color dress, that color shoe. It was nice. So you are pointing to some scene which is in your mind. Like that, you should compare this with your professor's class. It's like you should ask the teacher, like, ma'am, after this topic, you have said something, but I'm not familiar with the word. I want more explanation or clarification on it. We won't ask like that, right? We will be like, ma'am, you said something, I don't remember. But we listen to, we observe the scenes little by little over a frame of, like every each and every frame we are observing the movie. Like that, you should observe the class entirely. Pay attention to your professors, what they are talking about. And in between, if they ask you the question, you'll be like, ma'am, I don't know. I haven't studied. I haven't listened to. I haven't the not. Don't use not in your life. Really, I'm serious. Don't use a not in your life. Just use, yeah, I can do it. I will do it. So that makes you feel more confident and more reliable on your careers. Like if you um, தமிழ்ல கூட ஒரு வேர்டு இருக்கு. um, ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷன் நீங்க ஆகணும்னா நீங்க அதுவாவே மாறணும். ஸோ அதுவாவே நீங்க மாறணும்னா you should change your stuff. If you want to be a doctor, you should be a doctor. You should change yourself into a doctor. If you are an engineer, you should be an engineer. You should not think like I'm a doctor but studying engineer. No. So if you have different goals and plans in your life, now you are into engineering, you should focus on engineering. So if you think like I want to become a teacher, you can become a teacher after you graduate. After you graduate, go for higher studies, postgraduate, and be a professor. You can be a professor, teacher, professor. Everything is in teaching profession. But if you want to be a doctor studying engineering, it won't make any sense. So once you get into engineering, do your best. Do your engineering stuff. That's it. Um, and moreover, for guys who are forcibly into the engineering, don't be sad about the engineering, or don't think about, oh my god, I'm into engineering. No, it will give you boost up, it will give you a way to lead your life, and it will give you, definitely give you, this college, I'm telling you completely, it's 100%, this college will give you 100% result on your studies if you are really working hard. If you are not working hard, don't expect the results. You should more focus on your studies, and professors will help you. But the end of the day, the result is in your hand. But you can study a lot, you can read a lot, but some people are struggling in writing the exams. They might think like, okay, the answer is here, it's not coming out here. So that's all because you are not studied properly, or you are not studied the complete concept of the question or the topic. So you should be familiar with what you are studying and what you are reading. So studying before the exam doesn't make any sense. So it will be like preparing for exam in the 1 day before or 2 days before, and studying for last 4 hours or 5 hours, and then writing the exam. You might pass, but you will not get the high marks. The high marks will help you in high level, which you are into. um, I would say the jobs. So you are in engineering, you are more focused on salary and the job opportunities, which is the most important thing. To get that opportunity, you should good enough to get the high level marks, at least 70 plus, 80 plus. You can try. If you try, you will get end of the engineering. You will get minimum 70, 80 if you are really into. Um, and moreover, the guys who are watching this now, you should start preparing from now. It's not like late. You should start preparing from now. Saying like um, you should be good enough to kickstart your own plans. So if you are doing the first semester, get the good rapport with juniors, seniors, and the professors. So without without your knowledge, it will be like the proper rapport with junior seniors. You might be further processing, but if you have a good rapport with your people who are studying with, you will get some opportunities. That's the opportunity land. The college is opportunity land. So your seniors will get into some jobs and they might work in some industries and they might help you to get another job for you. So you should have a good rapport with your seniors. So don't think like, oh, they are seniors, they are professors, we should not talk. No, it's not. You should have a friendly and decent relationship with your seniors and juniors. Don't be afraid of talking to the professors and the HODs. They are really amazing people who is ready to help you in your career opportunities. And I think my second year, I have um, submitted a project. As in, people are 14. We have submitted a project in Indian Institute of Management, Mumbai. So we went there. It was a 2 days, 1.5 days travel. It took 2 days for us to reach Mumbai. Then we presented our project over there. So at the time, I was working along with the mechanical students. I'm from the EC background, but I worked together with the other department guys as well. So we worked together as a team and we presented our project in IIT. So that's a big thing, but that's one of the good stuff in my college days. We presented over there, we got a good experience, and even though when we presented our project, we were so excited to see people around the world. We have seen people from all over India. So that's one of the opportunities which I got from our college. My HOD sir accepted for us to travel to Mumbai with those guys, and he helped me. He approved my ODs. He helped me a lot. He supported me as my. I'm thankful to my parents as well. They supported me to go to Mumbai as a girl from a village background. They might think like, why are you sending a girl to a project? Even that's Mumbai. That's so far. No, it's not so far. Mumbai is just a place in India. That's it. Now I am an outside of India with the help of my supporting from my parents and my company. Places doesn't matter. Your skill, your presentation, your confidence matters in every place. So here uh, I'm I was leading a team of 6 to 7 people when I was in Bangalore. Here I'm working for one of the leading client in UK. So these are the things which makes me feel like, oh my God, Hema is a person, Hema is an engineer who studied from KSR College of Engineering. That's from a small area from India. For the guys who are here, they are looking at me like that, but they are asking me how you are studying your engineering. There are lots of guys ask me, my colleagues, my friends in UK, they have asked me how you are progressing your goals and career. how you are so this level. We have a level, right? So if you are in level, and the second day your level should be a bit higher. You should not be like, okay, Hema is here, the next day Hema will be here, next year, after 10 years, 100 years. Well, I'm not sure 100 years, okay, after 10 years. So we are not sure about how we are progressing it. But from my point of view, if Hema is here, the next day Hema should be here, and the next day. So the progression should be step by step, and you should see your progression. If you don't see your progression, you are not putting your 100% efforts on your plans, the goals, and career. So that's the most important thing. Just set your goals, write it in a paper, and post it in your rooms. Look at your goals every day, every moment. Whenever you are down, when you are demotivated by people, you should look at your goal, saying that, okay, in the 10 years down the line, I want to study MBA, or I want to study masters in any of the countries, or any of the job. I want to get a job. I want to make my parents proud. I want to earn 1 lakh salary or 2 lakh salary. I want to open a restaurant, whatever it is. Just set the goal, write it in a paper, post it in a wall. So on the wall, if you see it every day, subconscious mind will trigger. So your mind will be like, okay, Hema wants to be like that. Hema wants to be like that. It will tell you, and it won't make you sleep if you have a proper dream. Dream should come true. When it comes true, that means you gave your 100% effort. If you don't achieve your goals, there is no use of living our life. Set your goals, focus on it, work on it. So I'm telling that work on it is the most important thing. By talk we can say, okay, she is talking, she is working there, that's why she's talking. But it's not. So when I was studying, my aim was uh, to get a job from our campus. So my first goal achievement came true. Then I got into my company. I was working in Cochin for 6 7 months. Then I was thinking that I want a relocation to another state. So I got uh, another opportunity to work with Bangalore colleagues. So I got relocation as well. That's my second thing because I worked on it. I worked on it to get my relocation done. It had done as well. Then after the Bangalore days, I wanted to be a part of a team. So I really look myself into managerial position. So I asked my manager, see, I'm so much interested and excited about a team to build and to work on it. So I worked on it to improve my managerial skills. So I asked my manager, he gave me because of my confidence and the hard work which I have put. So that came true because I gave my efforts. Then I worked on the opportunity in on-site. So on-site, when I came to London last year, I worked on the same thing. I worked on it. I got it. So the I indicates I did my hard work. So now I'm telling you, you do your best. You should do it, and you will get it. So the instead of I, if you are uh, just replace your name instead of I. So if you're X, so X do this, X will get it, and X is going to be a good engineer in future. And you are going to earn lakhs of money. Money doesn't matter. So end of the day, you will get satisfaction saying that I studied in KSR, I got a job. I'm so thankful to the college. So that's the most important thing from the first year to final year. So I'm more talking about a job because in the first year itself you should start work on your um, goals, the job which you are focusing on. Set your industry like IT industry or automobile industry or whatever it is. Set the industry, work on it, and split the works. Split the works as in, okay, first semester I should get 75 above percentage, a second semester 80 plus above 80 plus percentage. So for each and every semester, you should set the goal. So when you set the goal, if you get at least instead of 75, if you get 70, so in the next semester, you will work more on it. So you will get where you lagged and you will get the more percentage in every semester. That makes sense, that makes you see the progression level of yours and make you motivated, and you will feel like, okay, just a exam, I'm listening to professor's talk, I don't want to study. Yeah, you can do it, but the progression is the most important thing, and you should do your work with 100 percentage confident, and the enough courage on you should trigger you to not to sleep. Not to sleep as in not watching Netflix or not watching Prime videos. No, it's not. You should work on whatever you want to become. So just focus on goals. Uh, the relatives, parents, friends, everybody will make you feel uncomfortable in some situations. You should uh, come over on it. It's only because um, if you have a goal, if someone comes in between, you should not care about them. You should focus on your goal. That's it. Don't distract by talking to your friends, making a gang up, going out, trips. Entertainment is important when you get bored of studying for long time, not only one day. For each one day, like texting, WhatsApping, social media, use the social media properly. There are more groups for engineers in Facebook. You can utilize those groups. In the groups, they will post the new ideas, new industry terms and conditions, and what they are implementing. For example, IBM, they are going to introduce a new application called a Watson. So I have talked about in my previous webinar. So there are some new stuffs which is going on in the industry, and you should know what is going on, and you should up to date with all those steps. And knowing about some celebrities, knowing about their personal life, or knowing about your friend's personal life, it won't help you in your personal life. It will it will make you feel like we have to know more about someone. No, it's not. Know more about yourself, get to know yourself, and you should come up with a patent. You can make patent. Our staffs are helping in patent as well. I have seen lots of guys did some patents. They have signed and approved. So many stuffs are going on in our college. So you should do some extracurricular activities which is related to your engineering, so that makes you to get a job easily, and it will put your resume in the first place when you go for jobs. So the achievements matters, not only listening or getting 90 plus marks. No, it won't work. I have seen lots of guys who got more marks than me, uh, working in small companies or working in big companies. It's doesn't mark doesn't matter. The skill which you have learned from our college matters. So if you go to some other college, you should you should be like, okay, I am a alumni or I'm a student of KSR. I want to improve my skill. I want to show my skill to somebody to get the attention. That's not a bad thing. Getting attention is not a bad thing. You are going to showcase yourself. So Hema is a okay IT developer. She is developing something. She's showing something. She is earning money. Yeah, of course I'm earning money because I have a skill. I'm showing myself to my clients to get my salary. Yes, like that. You are a student. You should show your listening, reading, writing, speaking skill to your exams, professors to get your whole marks. So this is how it works. So once you get your good marks, definitely you will have a skill. Without skill, we don't get marks. If you get a pass mark, it's fine. Work more on more from the next semesters or next exams. That doesn't matter. Studying doesn't matter. Just get your skills, solid skills. Like if I say one topic, and you should know from 0 to 100 percentage. The 0 to 100 percentage comes like, for example, biryani. Let's take biryani. So if I ask how to make biryani, what do you do? The first place, if you don't know how to make biryani, then you will go to YouTube and search how to make biryani. Then you will see the ingredients and you will get the ingredients. Then you will start preparing it. So this is same as how we are preparing ourselves for our engineering. So if you are getting into engineering, study English, grammar, how to talk, how to speak. So talking in English is not a bad thing, and it's not a comedy stuff while we are in college. And I recommend people to talk in English inside our campus at least. And if you talk English outside of campus, people will see like, okay, some students are annoying or something. So don't feel so irritated or shy if someone says you're so what, are you from English? No, it's not. You should tell them I am preparing for my career. I'm an engineer. I can talk English. Talk English. So in classrooms, try to talk in English and try to express yourself at least to your professors. Try to improve the time. Try to utilize the time as many as possible. So that's all my recommendation. Finally, I'm concluding this session. Um, so the first thing, don't think you are from Tamil medium or Kannada medium, Malayalam, or somewhere from English. So don't feel panicked. Be confident enough to learn. You are a good learner. ஸோ நீங்க படிக்க வேண்டியது எப்படி இங்கிலீஷை எழுதலாம், எப்படி இங்கிலீஷை வந்து ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணணும், சென்டென்ஸை எப்படி ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறத கத்துக்கணும். கத்துக்கிட்டதுக்கு அப்புறம் யூ ஷுட் ஸ்டார்ட் டாக் டு யுவர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஐடியா கூட நான் தரேன். ஒரு கஸ்டமர் கேர் நம்பர்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கும். ஒவ்வொரு ப்ராடக்ட்லயும் கஸ்டமர் கேர் நம்பர்னு ஒன்று இருக்கும். கால் தட் நம்பர், கால் த நம்பர் அண்ட் டாக் டு தெம் இன் இங்கிலீஷ். ஜஸ்ட் இப்போ ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கு வந்து ஒரு டிவி இருக்கு, ஒரு ஆப்பிள் டிவி, எல்ஜி டிவி, ஏதாவது ஒரு டிவி இருக்கு. அதுல ஒரு கஸ்டமர் கேர் நம்பர் இருக்கும். அந்த நம்பருக்கு கால் பண்ணிட்டு, ஐ ஹாவ் எ டிவி இன் மை ஹவுஸ் விச் இஸ் திஸ் பிராண்ட் அண்ட் இட்ஸ் நாட் ஒர்க்கிங் ஆர் சம் சேனல் இஸ் நாட் ஒர்க்கிங், ஜஸ்ட் ட்ரை டு டாக் டு தெம் இன் இங்கிலீஷ். சும்மாதான், அது தப்புலாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. பிகாஸ் அந்த கஸ்டமர் ரெப்ரஸன்டேட்டிவ் எதுக்கு இருக்காங்கன்னா உங்களோட கிளாரிஃபிகேஷனை தீர்த்து வைக்கிறதுக்காக தான். இதுக்காக டெய்லியும் வந்து சேம் பிராண்டுக்கு தான் கால் பண்ணலாம் அவசியம் இல்லை. ஜஸ்ட் கால் தெம் அண்ட் ட்ரை டு இம்ப்ரூவ் யுவர் இங்கிலீஷ் ஸ்கில்ஸ். அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நான் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அது சின்ன டிப்பு தான். ஸோ யூ கேன் யூட்டிலைஸ் தட். ஸோ ஒவ்வொரு டைமும் நீங்க கால் பண்ணும்போது ஒவ்வொரு கஸ்டமர் கேர் கால் பண்ணிட்டு யூ கேன் கால் தெம் அண்ட் டாக் டு தெம் சம் திங்ஸ். ஸோ என்னென்னலாம் பேசணும்னு தோணுதோ ஜஸ்ட் ஆஸ்க் தெம் இன் இங்கிலீஷ் அண்ட் லிசன் டு தெம். அந்த அவங்க என்ன இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசுறாங்கிறது லிசன் டு தெம், தென் ரிப்ளை தெம் பேக். ஸோ தட் மைட் ஹெல்ப் யூ இன் ஒன் ஆஃப் தி ஆப்ஷன்ஸ். ஸோ அது வந்து செகண்ட் திங். அண்ட் தேர்ட் வந்து, ஸோ இஃப் யூ ஆர் இன்டு காலேஜ், ஸ்கூல்ல இருக்கிறது வேற, காலேஜ்ல இருக்கிறது வேற. இட்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்லி டிஃப்ரெண்ட். காலேஜ்லயும் ஸ்கூல்லயும் இருக்க ஒரே காமன் திங் படிக்க போறோம், அவ்வளவுதான். எக்ஸ்ட்ரா வந்து காலேஜ்லயே அதிகமான புக்ஸ், massive books, massive number of books, and computers are there, newspapers are there, no, so many things are available. அதை யூட்டிலைஸ் பண்ணிக்க வேண்டியது உங்களோட கையில தான் இருக்கு. ஸோ யூட்டிலைஸ் வாட் எவர் இஸ் அவைலபிள். 4 இயர்ஸ்ல யூ ஷுட் பி அ ப்ராப்பர் இன்ஜினியர். அண்ட் அந்த பிராண்ட்ஸ், இந்த கம்பெனிஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து உங்களை தே ஷுட் பி லைக், ஓகே, கேஎஸ்ஆர்ல இருந்து வரவங்க எல்லாருமே வாவ் சூப்பர் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற அளவுக்கு உங்களோட கெரியர் அண்ட் உங்களோட திங்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணிக்க வேண்டியது நீங்க மட்டும்தான். ஸோ என்னோட பேட்ச்ல 2012 to 2016 பேட்ச்ல we were like about 400 to 500 people got selected for Wipro. So that's a big thing all over the 3 engineering colleges la. So in only in KSRCE we were like 200 plus people got selected for Wipro. ஸோ எல்லாருமே வந்து அங்கேயும் ஒரு குட்டி காலேஜ் மாதிரி தான் போயிட்டு இருந்தது. எங்களோட ட்ரைனிங் செஷன் எல்லாமே. ஸ்டில் வி ஹாவ் பீப்புள் ஹியர். ஐம் ஸ்டேயிங் வித் ஒன் ஆஃப் த கேர்ள்ஸ் இன் ஆர் காலேஜ். நம்மளோட காலேஜ் இங்க நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. கேஎஸ்ஆர்ல இருந்து வந்த நிறைய பேர் லண்டன்ல என்னோட ஆஃபீஸ்ல ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. சிடிசி 2 காலேஜ்ல இருந்தும் தே ஆர் ஒர்க்கிங். ஸோ கெட்டிங் அ ஜாப் இஸ் அ பிளஸ் பாயிண்ட் when you are in a college. ஸோ நம்ம காலேஜ்ல இருந்து கிடைக்கிற ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸை கிராப் பண்ணீங்கன்னா யூ வில் பி இன் குட் பிளேஸ் இன் ஃபியூச்சர். தட்ஸ் த அஷூரன்ஸ் ஐ கேன் கிவ் இட் ஃப்ரம் மை சைட். அண்ட் மை என்னோட தம்பியும் இங்க தான் படிக்கிறான், செகண்ட் இயர். ஸோ என்னோட அப்பா நினைச்சாரு, ஓகே என்னோட பொண்ணு இங்க படிச்சு நல்ல நிலைமையில இருக்கா, ஸோ என் பையனும் படிச்சு அங்க நல்ல நிலைமையில இருப்பாங்கிற ஒரு கான்பிடென்ட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணது நம்ம காலேஜோட ரெப்புடேஷன், நம்ம காலேஜோட ஸ்டாஃப்ஸ், நம்ம காலேஜோட எல்லாமே, எல்லா விஷயமும் வந்து இட் மேட் அ இம்பாக்ட் ஆன் மை டேட். அண்ட் ஹீ தாட் தட் ஓகே மை சன் ஷுட் ஸ்டடி ஹியர் அண்ட் கெட் அ டெஃபினெட்லி ஹி வில் கெட் அ ஜாப் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அதுக்கான ஆப்ஷன், அதுக்கான ஸ்பேஸ், அந்த காலேஜோட ஸ்பேஸை கிரியேட் பண்ணது நம்ம காலேஜோட பெருமை. ஐ எம் சோ ப்ரௌட் ஆஃப் மை காலேஜ். ஸோ இதே வந்து நான் நல்ல நிலைமையில இல்லை அப்படின்னா எங்க அப்பா திருப்பி கொண்டு வந்து என் தம்பி இங்க சேர்த்திருப்பாரா அப்படிங்கறது ஐ எம் நாட் ஷுர். பட் ஐ மேட் மை திங் வெரி கிளியர் அண்ட் ஐ எம் சோ கான்ஃபிடென்ட் இனஃப் டு டூ ஆல் தோஸ் ஸ்டெப்ஸ். ஐ எம் சோ ப்ரௌட் ஆஃப் ஹவ் ஐ ஆம் அண்ட் ஐ எம் வெரி தேங்க்ஃபுல் டு த காலேஜ். நான் இப்படி இருக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு ரீசனே வந்து நம்ம காலேஜ்ல இருந்து கிடைச்ச அந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் தான். ஸோ யூட்டிலைஸ் த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி, யூட்டிலைஸ் வாட் எவர் இஸ் அவைலபிள். டோன்ட் பி மேட் அட் எனிபடி, ஜஸ்ட் பி கூல். என்ன வேணுமோ ப்ரொஃபஸர்கிட்டயோ டீச்சர்ஸ்டையோ கேட்டா யூ வில் டெஃபினெட்லி கெட் இட். தட்ஸ் தி மெயின் பாயிண்ட் ஃப்ரம் our college. I'm so thankful, I'm so proud, I'm so thankful to everybody who is watching now, and I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
That's really such an inspirational speech, Hema. And there was a true success story before all the first year students. I hope all the first year students would have got inspirational by your speech. As you were from a very humble background, from a village, from a Tamil medium school, you travel all along to Namakkal, you joined this
Of
college,
course, yeah.
you equip yourself. That the main secret of your success is you equip yourself with all the technical skills and other skills. And we are really proud to say that Hema is our alumni.
Thank you
And
so much.
you
Thank
made
you.
such an extempore speech. Really, you made such an extempore speech without any material in your hand. And you also accepted our invitation because it was so early for you in the morning. I hope you might have woken up today morning by 3 o'clock it seems. So I was very
Yeah.
worried. Can I remind you during that time? But you yourself made a call and you made your availability. And I hope all the first year students will get a cue from your speech. They will work hard and they will reach the height which you have attained today. And
Of course, of course.
thank you very much for Hema for joining us. It's really a privilege to have you in this occasion, particularly in this occasion for first year students. In future also, we would like to involve you in more programs. And
Sure, sure. That's my pleasure. That's my pleasure. I will do it. Yeah.
at the moment, thank you from us, Hema, and have a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for all. Thanks.
Thank you, Hema. Thank you. And that is the end of the induction program for day 2. And we officially close this program. Thank you all. Thank you.